Well, good evening. Happy Monday night. We are live talking about the weather for the next couple of days. We have changes on the way, which, by the way, Thursday and Friday will include the chance at some more rain. It's been a wet winter so far. As a matter of fact, last month was one of the wettest we've seen on record, January 2024. Now we're entering more of an active weather pattern by the end of the week. Meantime, it was a beautiful day. Temperatures were mild and below average for February standards. We were in the lower 60s. Here are today's numbers. 62 was the high, 42 was the morning low, which both those numbers on the left-hand side of your screen, I'll zoom in, are slightly below the neighborhood, slightly below the average for February. We're kind of in the neighborhood for where we should be this time of year, but it was a colder than normal day. That's what I was trying to say. But it was dry, it was clear. Our month-to-date rainfall, and this is important, it's 0.87. Typical February in San Antonio is usually like 1.74, 1.75. So we're almost to an inch, and that's pretty good. We've seen some pretty good progress, and I think we'll add to that by the end of the week. Thursday and Friday, we'll see some rain return back into the area. But by the weekend, it should clear out. So kind of a roller coaster of rain and temperatures for the next 7 days, which we'll chat about in just a bit. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. We'll be talking about the weather for the next couple of, I was going to say next couple of hours. No, probably the next 20 to 30 minutes or so. But if you have any questions about, San Antonio, traveling across the state this week, or traveling across the nation, if you're having any vacation plans, I can always talk about that and where, you're traveling to and how the weather is looking over there. Where you're going. So we can always talk about that in detail. But of course, we'll focus on San Antonio and Texas as a whole, which, by the way, if you're traveling to Corpus Christi this week, towards the Valley, McAllen, maybe down south towards Eagle Pass, Laredo, that's where the rain will be focused Thursday and Friday and even parts of Saturday. And again, we'll show you the timing and everything you need to know in just a bit. 55 out the door. It's chilly, so if you're heading out late for any dinner plans, it is cold. 55 at Stinson. Winds are light, 3 miles an hour. Air is dry, and because of the dry air, we'll see temperatures slip pretty fast, probably into the upper 30s when it's all said and done early tomorrow morning. Meantime, it's cold across the hill country, pretty much a 10-degree swing between San Antonio International and towards Kerrville. They're at 42 degrees right now, the latest observation in Kerrville. Similar numbers in Fredericksburg, Bernie, Rock Springs at 45, near 60 in Del Rio. So it's chilly outside, but it's a little cooler in the hill country thanks to the higher elevation. The air is a little bit more dry in parts of the hill country this evening, and winds have really calmed down. That's the trend overnight, calming winds. And what that will do is, with this kind of setup, we'll set up for a cold overnight. Tomorrow, first Tuesday of the rodeo, if you're heading out, it's going to be beautiful. It will be cold to start. Grounds open at 9 a.m. Of course, the carnival doesn't open until, I think, 4 o'clock in the evening, late afternoon. But of course, there's a lot going on at the rodeo tomorrow. By 10 a.m., 55. So I would say for the majority of the morning, jacket, sweater, coat kind of weather. But after lunchtime, you can lose the coat, and temperatures will be perfect, right around 68 for a high. It's really perfect for this time of year. It'll be a little warmer than today. Today was 62, tomorrow about 68 to 70, depending on where you're watching in San Antonio. But it's going to be a beautiful day. Winds light, not as breezy tomorrow. Under mostly clear skies. It's going to be a beautiful day. So outside right now, it is clear. Gilbert, you mentioned Poteet weather. It's going to be quiet tomorrow. It'll be cold. Probably in Poteet, likely down to about 36 to 35 tomorrow morning, probably around that range. I think the majority of our area in San Antonio and the metro specifically, probably above freezing. In the overnight, San Antonio should bottom out around 39 when it's all said and done. Areas like Poteet, Helotes, Seguin, Timwood Park, Bulverde, probably on the outskirts of San Antonio, bottoming out probably around 35 to 34. In the hill country, maybe a couple degrees colder, but generally pretty quiet. We have a pretty chilly and clear pattern ahead as skies remain pretty quiet. If you're traveling anywhere in the Carolinas tomorrow, that's where it's going to be pretty active. Anywhere from the Ohio River Valley towards the Midwest, parts of the Midwest really, south of Ohio. There are a couple of flood warnings that are in effect. I believe that's what I'm seeing on this particular map. Heavy rainfall for parts of Tennessee and Kentucky Notice Nashville getting slammed in by a lot of rainfall. Some of it severe between Huntsville, I-75 towards Charlotte, and parts of Ohio. Some pretty good rainfall over there this evening. That's all thanks to an area of low pressure that's moving out of our area, and in its wake, pretty clear skies and pretty cool temperatures. You'll see by tomorrow morning, again, 39 for San Antonio. That's the airport. But anywhere in the metro, Bernie, more like Fair Oaks Ranch, Seguin, Helotes area, probably down to 37 to 36 in some low-lying areas. Hill country counties, Kendall County, Kirk County, Gillespie County, middle to lower 30s tomorrow. If a few areas do reach freezing tomorrow morning, it'll be brief. It'll be a light freeze, probably at or below freezing for 1 to 3 hours at most. But based on this model, tomorrow morning bottoming out in the middle 30s. Again, a few areas could pick up 33 to 34 tomorrow, maybe as low as 32. And it would be for a brief amount of time for early Tuesday. Good evening, Kale and David, Sonia. Hope you're having a wonderful night. Chance and Hope, good evening. If you have any questions, again, let me know. If you're traveling, if you're going to Houston, Dallas, Austin later this week, Corpus Christi, as a matter of fact, Corpus Christi and along the coastal bend, that's where a lot of the rain will be later this week. So we'll talk about that more in detail. Good evening, Mary. Hope you're having a wonderful night. First day of the week, first day back from the weekend, day after the Super Bowl, a recovery day, of course. But it was good. It was a beautiful day. It was a little windy at times. We saw some gusts near 20 to 30 miles an hour, but otherwise it was a beautiful day to kick off the new week. But again, tomorrow morning, here's a look at your overnight temperatures, likely around 39 in San Antonio, middle to lower 30s in the Hill Country. That includes Bernie, Kerrville, Fredericksburg, and parts of Real County and Edwards County. Specifically, Bandera County towards Gillespie County. That's where we're expecting maybe a light freeze, but I think generally most of us will be at least 32 to 33 in the Hill Country, 39 in San Antonio, and similar numbers around the metro. Somerset, will it freeze? No. Gary, no, it will not. Somerset probably as low as about 37 to 36 tomorrow morning, but I think the majority of San Antonio and the metro around Bexar County likely above freezing tomorrow morning. And it's really north into West Texas, North Texas, where they're expecting more of a widespread freeze overnight tonight. But not much of a freeze tonight here in our area. We're likely saying all above freezing for San Antonio for early Tuesday. Okay, so fast forwarding through the next couple days, generally pretty quiet. Very stable upper level winds, and that keeps us pretty quiet through Tuesday. Now, as we fast forward into Wednesday, things get a little bit more active. We'll see a little bit more cloud cover move into our area Wednesday and Thursday. But our best chance at rain right now, what the models are telling us, is Friday. And that could start as early as Thursday night, 10, 11 p.m. If it were to start Thursday night, probably just sprinkles, light showers, that's about it. Most of the heavier action and heavier showers probably moving through Friday afternoon, Friday evening. So we'll monitor the trend, but let me show you the latest on the trend. This is one of our long-range models, and it'll show you through Wednesday, pretty quiet. So upper right-hand corner, I'll zoom in real quick. This is 9 a.m. Wednesday morning. Cloudy skies and a little bit of sunshine between here and Houston. But notice, notice as we go through Wednesday night, Thursday, the clouds really thicken up. Thursday, mostly cloudy, maybe a sprinkle, maybe a light shower. That's about it. Thursday night rolls around, moisture moves in from the south, and it looks like between here, Corpus Christi, and Del Rio and parts of Laredo, the Rio Grande, that's where a lot of the moisture will be more widespread, and some of that will produce rain. On and off showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Nothing severe is expected at the moment. But look at this. This is Friday, 6 a.m. So Friday morning may be a wet commute if you're heading out early Friday anywhere, traveling anywhere across South Texas. It may be a little active. The roads will be wet, a little slippery, but temperatures will be above freezing. So winter weather is not a concern. It'll just be good old rain. But Friday morning it starts, and then Friday afternoon we could see a couple of pretty good downpours between here and Corpus Christi. Now, earlier this weekend we were watching the trends, and it looked like earlier this weekend that the heaviest rain was from Del Rio to San Antonio to Austin. Now the models are saying farther south of Highway 90. So it looks like the bulk of rainfall on Friday will happen between Corpus Christi and the Rio Grande Valley, Brownsville to Sinton to Port Aransas, maybe as far north as Houston and San Antonio. But it looks like the bulk of rainfall that moves through on Friday will be for South and Deep South Texas and mainly along the coastal bend. It moves up pretty fast. By Friday night, Saturday morning, moisture moves south, and as a front moves through, that'll clear out the cloud cover. Saturday and Sunday will be sunny, it'll be chilly, it'll be breezy. So if you're heading out to the rodeo on Saturday, it'll be a little cooler with high temperatures right around 60 to 61, so cooler than normal. So here's the rainfall forecast. We talked about the bulk of rainfall happening south of San Antonio. You can see Corpus Christi, most of deep South Texas between here and the valley. Forecast rain totals upwards of 2 to 3 inches. And San Antonio, kind of on the outer edge of things, right? So San Antonio, Cotulla, Carrizo Springs, Austin, Gonzales, kind of in that light green area, which max rain amounts right now for Friday specifically, Thursday night and Friday, half an inch of rain. That's not a flooding concern. That's just decent rain, right? And we'll take it. Up to the hill country, maybe up to a tenth. So the farther north you go, the less rain you get into. The farther south you go down I-37, the more rain you run into. Corpus Christi, Brownsville, Harlingen, Raymondville, McAllen, Rio Grande City, Zapata County, Jim Wells County, Jim Hogg County. That's where they're expecting some pretty good rainfall to come together Thursday night, Friday, and even parts into Saturday. Because a lot of the rain that forms will stay south. Some of it will drift farther north, but San Antonio, at the moment, kind of on the outer edge of rain, and forecast rain totals a tenth to a quarter, maybe up to a half an inch if we're lucky. Heaviest rain, Corpus Christi, Coastal Bend, Rio Grande Valley, and along the Rio Grande itself. So, good morning, good evening, Kelly. Thank you. Of course, Gary, here to help. If you have any more questions, let me know. If anyone has any questions, feel free to comment down below. We're talking about weather across the area. In the meantime, it is the first full week of the rodeo, and a lot of folks are heading out. Again, grounds open every day at the San Antonio Rodeo at 9 a.m. Of course, the attractions, the festival, and that starts a little later in the day. And of course, the carnival, which a lot of folks want to have fun, with their families, the kids. Carnival opens at 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, and I believe earlier on the weekend at 10 a.m. Saturday and Sunday, extended hours during the weekend for the rodeo. But Monday through Friday, I think, the carnival opens at 4 p.m. But the grounds open every day at 9 a.m. So if you're heading to the rodeo, it is a good time. We went earlier this weekend, and it was a blast. It is always a good time to celebrate rodeo season. And if you're heading out this weekend to the rodeo, it looks great. It'll be cold, though. I will say most of the day will be cold. If we're spending most of Saturday in the 40s and 50s, it'll be chilly. And add in that north wind on Saturday near 20 to 30 miles an hour, it will be a little breezy, but it'll be sunny. Cold Sunday morning, middle to upper 30s. That may even trend colder in the coming days as we get more forecast data in. 62 on Sunday afternoon. But in the meantime, spring-like weather Thursday and Friday with more clouds moving in. And we may even trim down that chance for rain on Friday down to 40%, by tomorrow or Wednesday. Just based on the trends on the long-range models, it looks like the bulk of rain will happen in Corpus Christi and in the valley Thursday night and Friday. And again, some of that will drift farther north towards San Antonio. And that's why we're putting in a 50-50 chance and opportunity at seeing some rain, but otherwise, most of the heavier downpours Thursday and Friday south of Highway 90 and south into Corpus Christi as skies clear Saturday and Sunday. Yeah, of course, Gary, you're welcome. Coming from Somerset, you had a couple of friends there earlier, and it's a good spot to be. But yeah, Somerset will not freeze overnight. Kelly, good evening. Same to you, Mary. Hope you're having a wonderful night. And again, yeah, cold overnight, about 39 in San Antonio, and then about 67 in the afternoon. Rinse and repeat for Wednesday, for Valentine's Day. If you have any dinner plans Wednesday night with your loved one, it'll be perfect. It'll be pretty mild. I would say, 8, 9 p.m. temperatures, probably around 60. It's going to be perfect Wednesday night for any Valentine's Day plans. But otherwise, Friday, yeah, it's going to be a little wet, a little cloudy, but it will be warm. I mean, temperature near 70. That's a few degrees above average for February. And keep in mind, 3 years ago today, that's when winter weather advisories were issued. We were dealing with that historic winter storm. 3 years ago today, we were dealing with temperatures in the 30s and 20s, right? 3 years ago this week, we were dealing with winter storm warnings. We were dealing with rounds of snow, rounds of freezing rain. So 3 years ago today, it was a lot different. And this week marks 3 years since the historic winter storm moved through Texas. Mary, of course, you're welcome. We're here to help. Again, that's the 7-day, guys. We'll zoom in and show you kind of how it plays out for the next several days. Pretty quiet through tomorrow and Wednesday, Valentine's Day, perfect weather. A little bit more cloud cover Wednesday and temperatures near 70 Thursday and Friday. Scattered showers Friday, but again, we may trim down that rain chance because it looks like most of the rain will materialize south of San Antonio. If you're driving to Port A, Sinton, Rockport, Corpus Christi, Thursday and Friday, that's where a lot of the rain will be for the next couple days. Otherwise, clearing skies by the weekend, cooler and breezy on Saturday. We'll leave it on here a little longer, guys. Have a wonderful night and be safe. And we'll see you tonight on KENS 5 News at 10. If not, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful and safe night.